Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone as we turn our attention now to athletics. The official entry list for the 2024 Paris Olympic Games have been confirmed and locked in for a summer of top-level track and field. The Caribbean will send a host of stars to the Games, and we'll have a quick run-through of those contesting the sprints. Lance, are you ready? Let's take a look at the men's 100-meter list. Oh, wow. So, we have a long list here, Lance. CJ Green from Antigua and Barbuda, Terrence Jones from the Bahamas. What about Wanya McCoy from Bahamas, Devontae Howell from the Cayman Islands, Emmanuel Archibald, Christopher Borza, Ricole Brathwaite from BVI. Jamaica has 4 athletes. St. Kitts and Nevis 1, that's Nikhil Harris and Devin Augustine. That was the final one for the 100 meter. Now in the women, Joella Lloyd from Antigua and Barbuda. Barbados has Tristan Evelyn, Grenada Hall Hazard. Hall Hazard. Then we know Tia Clayton from Jamaica, Shasha Lee Forbes, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, Sharika Jackson, and then from St. Lucia, Julian Alfred. What about in the 200-meter men? We have Ian Kerr from Bahamas. They have 2 athletes that will be taking part in this 200 meters men. Jamaica has 2. That's Andrew Hodson and Brian Lavelle, and Trinidad and Tobago, Jareem Richards. For Jamaica in the 200-meter women, Sharika Jackson, Adeja Hodge from BVI, then Jamaica, Laneta Thomas, Jamaica as well, Nisha Berger and Julian Alfred from St. Lucia. So in the 400-meter men, Lance, Jamaica has 3 athletes competing. That's Sean Bailey, Deandra Watkin, Rashid McDonald and Javon Powell. Then for the Bahamas, Stephen Gardiner, for Grenada, Kirani James, and then Trinidad and Tobago will have Jareem Richards. I skipped St. Lucia, not to forget Michael Joseph from St. Lucia. In the 400-meter women, Aaliyah Abrams from Guyana, Janelle Bromfield from Jamaica, Stephanie Ann McPherson from Jamaica, Shawnee Miller-Weibo will be suiting up for the Bahamas, Nikisha Price for Jamaica, Shade Williams for Barbados. What about Stacey Ann Williams for Jamaica? Now let's see who's in the 110-meter hurdles. This is the men's list. Antoine Andrews for the Bahamas, Orlando Bennett, Rashid Broadbell, Tyler Mason, and Hansel Parchment, all from Jamaica. Then in the 100-meter hurdles for the women, Janique Brown from Jamaica, Denisha Cartwright from the Bahamas, Devine Charlton as well as from the Bahamas, Emilia Chatfield from Haiti, Akira Nugent from Jamaica, Megan Tappan also from Jamaica, Charisma Taylor from Bahamas, and Danielle Williams from Jamaica. So in the 400-meter hurdles, Lance, we have Rashane Clark from Jamaica, Jaheel Hyde from Jamaica, Malik James King from Jamaica, Karen McMaster from BVI, and Lance, you want to attempt this one? Asini Wilson from Jamaica.
Yeah.
All right. What about in the women hurdles now? Rochelle Clayton, Jamaica. Andronette Knight, Jamaica again. Genevieve Russell and Cheyenne Salmon, all from the land of wood and water. Well, first thing stood out for me, a lot of Jamaican athletes going up there. Yeah. The Caribbean being represented, especially in the sprints. And I think the names that have been listed, Lance, will put up a competitive fight.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I keep saying on this show that the Caribbean punches above its weight at these global meets. The Olympics, of course, being the pinnacle of all sport. You look at the women's 400 meters with Shawnee Miller-Weibo from the Bahamas, back-to-back champion over the event, 2016 and 2020, and eyeing a third consecutive win in the event. And I want to make the point that of the last 8 400-meter champions on the women's side at the Olympic Games, only 2 are non-Caribbean born. Christine Orugu, one of them, and the other one would have been, I'll tell you in just a moment, but we've had Sanya Richards-Ross, who is Jamaica born but represented the USA.
Yeah.
Marie-Josée Perec, who represented France but was born in Guadeloupe. And, you know, these are Caribbean products, even though sometimes they don't represent the Caribbean. As I said, Sanya Richards-Ross in the USA, and for the French team, Marie-Josée Perec.
Yeah.
So a constant presence of Caribbean products being outstanding at the Carifta Games, at the Olympic Games. I was talking about Carifta now because my mind ran on Kirani James from Grenada. No athlete in the history of the Olympic Games has won more medals in the men's 400 than he has. And, you know, that is a fact that is often overlooked, especially in an event where the Americans have been so dominant over the years. You look at the sprint hurdles, you just went through the men's list.
Yes.
The last two sprint hurdles champions in the 110 hurdles were from Jamaica, Omar McLeod in 2016 and Hansa Parchment in 2021 in Tokyo. So a clear presence there of Caribbean outstanding performances in the sprint events at the Olympic Games. As far as the women's sprinting is concerned, and the men, because of Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, Elaine Thompson-Herah, and Usain Bolt, the past decade or so of Olympic sprinting has been dominated by Caribbean athletes. And now we are seeing Julian Alfred, the outstanding St. Lucian, putting her hand up as a serious contender for a podium finish at the Olympic Games in Paris. And it is not beyond the realms of possibility that she could win gold. That's how good she is at the moment. And her build-up this season has shown that her 2023 improvement that we saw and her world indoor title over 60 meters would set her up for a really strong performance in Paris. So I just think that when you look at the kind of talent that comes out of the Caribbean decade after decade at the Olympic Games, I just think that we are in for another outstanding show from Caribbean athletes in Paris.
Yeah, I was pleased also to see, like, you know, countries that are not used to dominating in the sprints and everything also being recorded, because I saw a couple athletes from Haiti as well, you know, different countries. And I think, Lance, to represent your country at Cayman as well, to represent your country at the highest level is just a pride and an honor.
Yeah, that's for sure. And the other athlete I was thinking about in the 400 that broke the sequence of Caribbean-born athletes winning would have been Cathy Freeman, who won the gold medal in Sydney 2000. So Cathy Freeman and Christine Ohuruga from Britain are the only non-Caribbean-born 400-meter runners to win gold that are in the past 8 Olympic Games. And that is a serious stat there. But as you have mentioned, the spread of outstanding performances from Caribbean athletes in the Olympic Games would not reside just with the Bahamas and Trinidad and Tobago, as we have seen them being the most prominent in recent decades. But as you pointed out, there, and as I mentioned earlier on with Julian Alfred, and in the past, athletes like Kim Collins from St. Kitts and Nevis, who became in the 2000 Sydney Olympics the first Kittitian to reach an Olympic final. The sort of spread of talent that we're seeing coming from right through the Caribbean is impressive. We know that Haiti, you just mentioned Haiti, they have been through a lot socially, and even from a standpoint of natural disasters, they have been hit so badly over time. And to see them putting athletes out with their performances and their appearances at the Olympic Games, always great to see Haitians coming to the top flight.
Yeah, and with the list that I just read through, the long list that I took my time to go through, how many medals do you think the Caribbean can walk away with? Like, if we're being realistic.
I would think in the region of 20.
Okay.
I think in the region of 20. I don't think that is a stretch, because they have done that before, and I think there is every chance that they could get another 20 in Paris. But these are going to be tough times for all of the athletes concerned, As we said, the cycle of the Olympics this year is a little bit different because the last one was 3 years ago, not 4 years as it usually is, because COVID-19 had delayed the 2020 Olympics to be staged in 2021. But the athletes have prepared well. We know that there have been some injury issues that are of huge concern. We saw only today where Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce at the Zern meet felt some discomfort while she was warming up and didn't compete. And she has not had the most ideal preparation for Paris, but let's hope that she'll be okay for Paris, because Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is a legend.
I agree.
And we want to see her do well in Paris.
Yeah, that injury word is not something that sits well for me, especially in an Olympic year. Lance, I didn't mention the field events. Let's talk medal count as we get ready.
Well, certainly for the triple jump men, Jaden Hibbert, the outstanding Jamaican, who is still a teenager, certainly is a strong medal candidate, and we believe that he probably, from a field event standpoint, is the most potent Caribbean entry for Paris. But there are others. The men's long jump, as far as the Jamaicans are concerned, look pretty solid as well, so we've got to look at that. Kishon Walcott, the 2012 javelin champion from Trinidad and Tobago, has not had the best sequence of global appearances, injuries affecting him as well, but you can never underestimate someone who has been there and done that. But I think his wellness physically will be the kind of thing that will dictate whether he does well in Paris or not.
Yeah, well, Lance, as we continue to count down the days until the 2024 Paris Olympic Games, the SportsMax Zone continues to have special features surrounding this summer's highly anticipated games. It's Tuesday, and that means it's time for our Eyes on Paris feature. Here's Gerard Morrisili with the roundup.
Keeping you up to date on all things Olympics, this is Eyes on Paris. After publishing a report clearing the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, of any wrongdoing in the handling of 23 positive tests from Chinese swimmers in 2021, World Aquatics has warned that it will double down efforts to prevent possible cheaters from the Asian country to win medals at Paris. The Chinese swimmers tested positive for trimetazidine in late 2020 and early 2021, but were still allowed to compete and win medals in the Tokyo 2020 Games. Mayor of the French capital, Anne Hidalgo, will fulfill her promise to swim in the River Seine, which runs through Paris on Wednesday, to demonstrate that it is clean enough to host the open water marathon and triathlon events at the Olympics. The water body has been a point of suspense in the run-up to the opening of the Paris Games, as heavy rainfall caused bacteriological analysis parameters to exceed permissible levels, making swimming in the river unsafe for human health. Jamaica Olympic Association President Christopher Samuda has warned the public not to lose sight of the Olympic spirit in light of the threat posed by artificial intelligence, AI, towards cybersecurity and information during the Paris Games. This comes after reports of nation-states using AI-generated deepfakes, social media bots, and fake news websites to spread misinformation about the event. In basketball news, Golden State Warriors superstar guard Stephen Curry says that being part of the Team USA setup is a constant adjustment and that it requires a big change in their playing styles. Curry, who has never been part of an Olympic expedition, says playing on a team filled with stars where he's not expected to carry the offense will take some adjusting too. This has been Eyes on Paris. Until next time, au revoir.